I'm old enough to remember when it took 5 minutes to like load a picture on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm old enough to remember when you dialed up on the internet and then somebody else picked up the phone
and you heard the noise.
I think that gives me more patience when the AI is not like exactly what it should. Like I can deal with hallucinations. I can deal with like ChatGPT threw an error at me, whatever. In a way, like it's like this doesn't faze me. Like I still recognize it's way more powerful than not having.
Yeah. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Get Real, the place for candid conversations with entrepreneurs, investors, marketers, and business leaders. I'm Dana Harder, and I'm here with my co-host, Carrie Baldwin.
Woohoo! Thank you, Dana. And we're excited to have Nicole Leffer here on the podcast today. Welcome, Nicole.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here.
It's going to be fun. Buckle in.
It is always fun when I talk to you too.
It's going to be lots of laughs.
Yes, lots of laughs. Absolutely. Some good stories too. Hopefully we can tease those out today. So we're big fans of Nicole over here at Unreal. And by the end of this episode, we are pretty certain that you will be too. So let's jump right in getting to know Nicole.
Great. So, Nicole, we know you have lots of experience in B2B and B2C. And we know we met you through your AI expertise within the space. So why don't we start there and just tell us a little bit about your business and your focus currently and what you're doing in the space of AI.
Awesome. Well, so for about 2.5 years now, I have been training marketing teams, mostly in the B2B space, on how to use tools like ChatGPT and Google Gemini within their marketing. So I come in, I work with the CMO to understand the needs of their team, where everybody is coming in at, and then I design trainings that help everybody on their team to learn how to take advantage of these tools and really get the most out of them. And then I do some wider consulting around AI adoption for the marketing function as well. So some of it is beyond just training. I'm doing like advisory consulting work. And I also have an online course for both entire teams and just individual marketers that want to learn how to use tools like ChatGPT. So I live and breathe knowing what is going on with AI, how to take advantage of it, how to apply it to marketing, what's hype, what's real, kind of where we are, and also not just like what's hype and what's real, but also what's real, but maybe you shouldn't actually be doing in a business because, you need to take some safety precautions and understand like the real compliance issues or some of those kinds of pieces, which maybe aren't as fun, but are important to understand. So I'm kind of all over the place, all things AI plus marketing.
So super boring right now, I guess. Huh?
So there's never anything new.
Nothing's happening.
It's all the same monotony every single day.
Love it.
No.
Love it.
All right. Well, we know we're going to talk a lot about AI today and marketing, but let's go back to your past because you've taken a really interesting path to get here. You worked at a magazine. You ran a super successful e-commerce chocolate business. Is that right, Nicole?
I have not had what you call a conventional career path in any way, shape, or form. We'll just say that. So when I was still in college, I actually was the senior editorial assistant for a national business magazine, which was it was really cool. I loved it. I was going to be a magazine journalist. Like I wrote for the magazine. I was literally still a college student and had like a real job at this magazine. Absolutely loved it. But I graduated from college in the 2006. Not the best time to be getting into the magazine world, like starting a career in magazine journalism. And the magazine didn't last that much longer. So I was like, I guess I got to figure out what I'm going to be when I grow up. And simultaneously, while I also had the job at the magazine, I had a little earlier than that started an e-commerce chocolate ingredients company. And it was meant to just be a summer venture selling chocolate outside of my parents' living room. My dad sold chocolate fountains, and I was like, I'm going to sell the chocolate for the chocolate fountains. That's a consumable. People need this chocolate. It's a special kind of chocolate. And so I started cold calling. This was in 2004, like companies that had chocolate fountains that I found online. And somebody said, do you have a website? I said, yes, it'll be done by the end of the weekend. Went almost done. And then I went to Barnes and Noble. For anybody that is like too young to remember, that's a bookstore where they like printed the internet. And
I think it's coming back around like it's cool again because it's retro.
Yeah. Still there, right? But like it's kind of this retro thing. But I bought a book, How to Build a Website for Dummies, spent the weekend at a coffee shop making a website. It had a surfing strawberry and like it was awesome. Like it was peak, like early 2000s, right? And somehow this business evolved into becoming an e-commerce chocolate ingredients company. We sold chocolate for all different things. This was before e-commerce was really a thing. Became one of the top 1,000 internet retail companies in the country for a couple of years. It was a really cool experience. I was a kid, right? Like I grew up doing this. I was like, wait, I was still in college. Like now I graduated college and I have an office and a warehouse and employees. And I thought I was going to be a magazine journalist, but now I have a chocolate company. It was like kind of this wild thing. Did that for 15, 16 years. I don't know, track. And it was really more of a tech company than a chocolate company.
Yeah.
Even though the product we were selling was chocolate, this was before the days of like Shopify and like everything being like anybody could just start an e-commerce. So we were working with developers to build like really custom systems to be able to sell online. And I was really doing the e-commerce and marketing side of the business, digital marketing, because we're selling all over the country off the internet. So I really learned marketing inside out. And that was the piece of the business I ran, was the tech and the marketing side. Ended up being done with that essentially in 2020, and took a little while as a consultant. I was doing marketing consulting, and ironically went, I don't want to be a consultant. Being a consultant is like so not for me. I want to be in one company. And joined a tech company, a B2B SaaS company, as their head of marketing. And while I was there, discovered AI. Like the first week, like when I said while I was there, it was like the first week I stumbled upon an AI writing tool that was a very early precursor, pre-ChatGPT or any of this, and went, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Obviously, I adopt technology early because I started an e-commerce company in 2004.
Right.
So,
this is your thing,
I'm
right?
I'm a tech person.
Yeah.
And I started using it every day. My team was using it every day. And it was like, I was obsessed. Everybody in the company knew Nicole is really into this AI thing. Like, we don't know why. And she's telling everybody, whether they're in marketing or not, to use AI. And about a year later, went separate ways from that company. It was just mutually not the right fit. Turns out I'm an entrepreneur.
And a consultant.
Yeah, right. I was going to say that
too. I'm a consultant. So I was like, I got to learn as much as I can about this AI stuff beyond what I was already doing for that year. And during that time, ChatGPT came out. And at that point, I actually thought, I want to be a CMO, just like new role, interviewing all these places, and just kept getting final round, top 2, not for me. And thank God, thank God none of those people hired me, because when ChatGPT came out, I was sharing this with all these CMOs I knew, and they started saying, would you teach my marketing team how to do this? And I was like, oh, sure. That sounds fun. And the next thing I knew, it started this business. And so, I just looked at the date, more than 2.5 years ago. So, and I love it. Like now I love being a consultant. Turns out I just had to consult on the right thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely having the time of my life, get to work with so many marketing teams, coach, teach, help them learn this technology that we all need to know. And it doesn't come with an instruction manual.
Yeah.
And it turns out all that e-commerce experience has been really good for this, because I understand how do you navigate a new technology and figuring out how to maximize it and use it and kind of hack around what it's made for, and actually how do you apply that? And it's just it's been
quite a journey.
Fun.
Quite a journey. I love it. So in addition to your obvious eye for business, you've got a little bit of a creative side. So we have heard that photography is also one of your passions. So can you tell us a little bit about that? And then I wanted to interject and just if there's any pictures in Italy on your recent trip that you took, can you describe those for us?
Oh, yeah. So I do love travel. You did deep research on me. Did you use deep research to learn?
That's our secret,
It's
Nicole.
not, don't be creeped out, Nicole. Don't be creeped out.
I was like, you indeed.
If you're as into AI as Nicole, you can't be creeped out about any of it, right?
I know. I'm impressed. I'm not creeped out. I am impressed. So I was on my high school newspaper staff, and I was the photography editor. And I've always loved photography. It is something that has always been fun for me. My big passion with photography is travel photography.
Okay.
And so I usually have my camera in tow whenever I am traveling. And I absolutely love it. And now I'm having fun. So I started kind of going back through some of my older travel pictures that weren't like, the high end. Yeah. Like they were high end DSLRs for the time, but not like for now for print quality. And now you could use AI to upscale some of those old pictures and to make them good enough to do like big prints. And like actually get that like high res of my own photos. But it is, I just love it. And I love people photography when traveling, scenery photography when traveling.
So what's your favorite, photo that you've taken? Like, is there one?
I don't have a single one. It depends on my day, week, time. Mood. I have some like scenic photos of like Croatia and Greece that are like, I absolutely love. But I did some really cool photography tours in Cambodia and Nepal.
Oh, wow.
With a professional photographer that's like National Geographic-y type of photography.
Fun.
And I have some really cool pictures. We did, in Cambodia, we went to Angkor Wat and he knew all the monks. And so they would so normal people, like if you go to Angkor Wat, if you see the really cool pictures of the monks in the temples in Cambodia, like you're not going to get those pictures. Those people won't just like sit there and pose for them. He had them. They were like, come and be our models. And so we have I have some really cool temple photos that a professional photographer had the people who were totally happy to come and they were friends of his. And so I have some cool pictures from there.
What an amazing experience.
Maybe we'll get together for a glass of wine and some chocolate and take a look together.
Yeah, we'll have to have a whole a whole photography sharing night. Oh, you'll get me down.
I love it. I'm looking forward to it.
We'll come to Atlanta, Nicole, and visit you and we can do it.
Yeah, we'll do that for sure. So let's go ahead and close out this segment by kind of setting the stage here for the rest of the conversation. So you've talked about your training and your writing and how you're using AI. How do you think that fundamentally people are going, AI is going to transform the way that people are, both doing work in a positive way and then maybe some things that you were surprised by as you've started down this journey of AI and seeing, the possibilities?
Oh, that's a big question to unpack. So let's start with the positive transformation. And then if you want to get truthful, we can go to some of the other side as well. So positive transformation wise, it basically gives everybody who has it the ability to have an expert in any topic to be a thought partner with you in anything you do. Right. So I think a lot of people think that AI, you're kind of either choosing, do you want to have efficiency and you're sacrificing quality for efficiency if you're using tools like ChatGPT or Gemini? And that's not actually the case because I think people are looking at it strictly through let me have it write some basic thing and take the first draft out the get-go, right? Maybe people are starting to come around to realize if you write good prompts and the smarter these models are, that there are ways to get the writing quality, not to sacrifice quality. But let's just set aside the content creation stuff because I think everybody understands the content creation piece. Where this stuff starts to really move the needle is to have a thought partner to be going through strategic ideas with that is a really, really brilliant thought partner to be going through the ideas, putting together the strategy, poking holes in your ideas so that you can understand where maybe you've got blind spots with this and building out far, far, far better marketing than you ever could on your own. You could have an entire team of experts coming from different perspectives of expertise working on something with you that they are available to you 24 hours a day. So anytime you have an idea, you can go through it with them.
Yeah.
And I think that has the capacity to increase the quality of our marketing so dramatically and the effectiveness of our marketing if we are willing to go back to fundamental marketing, right? Because I think, let's be honest, one of the things that I have become extremely hyper aware of in the work that I'm doing is that the majority of marketing teams, this is probably going to be really like, hopefully doesn't get me canceled for saying this. The majority of people doing marketing are doing pretty lazy, bad marketing.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, honestly,
Absolutely.
like, they're not doing the fundamentals that are like the things that make marketing really powerful and good. And we've gotten very lazy in how most of us market.
Yeah.
Not doing the testing, not thinking about understanding your personas, not thinking about understanding the psychology that goes behind it, not really thinking about the buying stages. It's just like somebody said, do a drip campaign. So you put 5 emails together, but you never thought through how are we psychologically bringing them through the steps. Maybe you don't even really know who you're selling to or what they're thinking about, right? So most marketers are doing lazy marketing. And even if you've always done lazy marketing, this gives you the ability to do really sophisticated, good marketing.
Without having to spend as much time.
Yes, it can even tell you what good marketing is if you never actually got that education because you've only worked for people who do lazy marketing. So that's really, really cool. The other piece of it that's really cool is even if you do know how to do good marketing, you can now do it far faster and far more efficiently and like with a thought partner to help you think through it. And like, I think the really good marketers are getting the most out of it because they can, like, they understand what you need to put into a ChatGPT or a Gemini to get phenomenal results out of it, where you can kind of tell just based off somebody's prompt how well they understand marketing a lot of times, because like a really good marketer is going to understand the information you need to feed it for it to do a good job. So all of that, I think, is like, has the power to dramatically improve the quality of our marketing. Now, most people are using it to spit out a lot more bad content a lot faster than nobody's going to read, but it has the power to actually dramatically improve the power of our marketing. So that's all the good stuff. Do you want the bad stuff?
I think we do. Yeah. Or the surprising stuff. I mean, however you want to frame it. Yeah.
The reality, and maybe I would say the AI's ability to be strategic is a surprising piece, at least for a lot of people, right? That it can do that strategy and higher level thinking and all of that. That is a big piece of this that I think shocks people, is how smart it can be and that it can do all of that. I think along with all of this does come, you've got the combination of the AIs are getting smarter. The AI, you're able to do higher quality, faster, all of this. And one person can do far, far more in a day, right? So like one person who really understands marketing. And again, I'm going back to like the person who has that core understanding of what marketing is and how to do marketing well is in such a good position right now if they learn how to leverage these tools. Because if you understand the big picture of marketing, you can do 5 people's roles. If you understand the combo of the big picture of marketing and the big picture of how to use AI, you could do 5 people's jobs in one day.
And I think what's interesting, Nicole, is I can actually be doing the work I want to be doing versus the work I don't want to be doing as a marketer. So, right? Like, which is like, I can focus on this big stuff and have it help me do the monotonous stuff all day long that was taking up all my time.
And I think it is really surprising to people that you can really do that, right? Like that you really can do the work of 5 people in a day, that you can do the stuff that's cool and fun and like really exciting and kind of gives you opportunity to do all kinds of different things, have your hands in all kinds of different things. All of that is really surprising. And it is really awesome. Like it is a really awesome part of AI. As long as you are the one person who can do the work of 5 people.
Right.
If you're the other 4 people, that is a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like that is, if you are not the person that really understands marketing, if you are not the person who also understands how to use the AI. So if you don't have those 2 things, I'm worried. Like I'm genuinely worried for you.
Yeah.
Because that is going to put you in a really hard position, because as more and more people become the one who understands both marketing and AI, there is such a strong competitive advantage, but companies aren't going to keep paying the people who don't understand either of those things.
Yeah, I think the expectation is really going to be around, executing and, showing deliverables, right? Because, something that took 8 weeks before shouldn't take 8 weeks now, right? And so that's going to be a challenge.
Well, and then I think there's going to be some competition here too for our senior level marketers, because like I have a 19-year-old just finished his freshman year at OSU. How he uses AI is so sophisticated already. So the younger people coming out are learning how to use it quicker, faster. So if you're somebody who like, oh, I've got all this experience in marketer, but I never did it really well, like to your point in the foundation, you're going to get replaced by somebody younger who's figured out how to use AI to do it very easily.
Yes. Now, I will say, though, that there is like a preconceived notion that young people will always be farther ahead on the AI.
Yes.
And it really depends a lot on where they go to school and how their school is treating it, because a lot of people are coming out of school with a fear of touching AI.
Yes.
Because their schools have ingrained that this is cheating. You can't touch it. You can't use it. And so there really could go either way.
Yeah.
I'll say I see either like the young that are like really like they are ahead of the curve and they're tech savvy and they like it and they're not afraid of it. But the ones, you'd be shocked who I see the best AI users to be are not in general the youngest.
Interesting.
Always. It is actually, I would say, I don't know, I hate the term, but like elder millennials. So the older side of millennial, younger side of Gen X, like that kind of zennials, I think they call them.
Zennials?
The XE.
Yeah.
And NIALS, Zennials. That seems to be the demographic that is like the most equipped to get the most out of this technology. So a lot of those people are senior marketing leaders.
Yeah.
And I think I understand the reason for this from a psychological standpoint. If you think about it, if you are between, let's say like 37, 38 and 45, 46, 47, you have been the person that in your entire life constantly. You remember the before, you've had to go through the transition, and you understand the after. You were the one with the internet that had to teach your parents how to use the internet. You were the one who like was the first to adopt everything of every single technology going, internet, and
cell phones,
email, and then Google research, and like, all of the things like throughout our lives. Because I do fall into this category, so maybe I'm like conceptually biased to think this, but we've had to do it over smartphones, text messaging, Google Docs, like every bit of the technology that has come out. This one little age group has had both the before and the after and been expected to lead the transformation.
Interesting.
So many times. You also had to troubleshoot how to do it without a user manual. So always throughout our lives, nobody told us, how do you do this technology? Now, if you contrast that with kids, and like, and when I say kids, I'm using it loosely, but like younger, they were born with a smartphone, essentially. By the time they were old, like the technology, they had this, and the technology was where it basically is now most of their lives. So and somebody could tell them how to do it. So even though it was like intuitive to them in a way, part of that was because somebody could show you the basics and then it made sense. And so they've never had to navigate, like, how do you use this before anybody knows how to? So sometimes that's actually harder for them to understand. Now, in other ways, technology is just so second nature. And so it kind of goes both ways.
But they have no patience either, right? Because they've also been so trained to continuously, like, I watch like my kids and like there's 3 screens going and phones and chat and music and there's always an ear pod in. And so like their attention span is so quick too. So learning something really for some people, I could see it's like, oh, okay, done. Yeah. So.
Yeah. And just things like, I'm old enough to remember when it took 5 minutes to like load a picture on the internet, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm old enough to remember when you dialed up on the internet and then somebody else picked up the phone
and you heard the noise.
I think that gives me more patience when the AI is not like exactly what it should. Like I can deal with hallucinations. I can deal with like ChatGPT threw an error at me, whatever. In a way, like it's like this doesn't faze me. Like I still recognize it's way more powerful than not having.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So I think that like when you're a little bit further along in your career, you're kind of done with having to do everything manually. So like sometimes it can be like a little bit nice.
Yeah.
Suddenly you're
I don't
like,
want to
oh
do
my
that
God.
anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have to do that. And like, you know what you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yes.
you know what you want to offload. You have maybe a little experience delegating and handing stuff to other
Cari
people.
and I know what we don't want to do anymore. We've got that list.
The list gets longer and longer.
I don't know about you, but like early in my career, I had a hard time delegating.
Yeah.
Like it was like I felt like I had to do stuff myself to like prove that I could do it, or I don't know what the psychology of it. But like trusting somebody else to do what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Anybody else.
You think it's easier to do it yourself than train somebody else to do it? It's like I can just get it done faster. Absolutely.
Where if you're at the point in your career where you're used to delegating already, it's not necessarily that hard of a leap to delegate to an AI instead of a person.
Yeah.
So like it's kind of like if you know how to manage people, you know how to manage AIs, and maybe you'll be a little refreshed because they never like talk back to you in the same way.
And if they don't do it right, I can say that. I'm like, this isn't right. Let's try this again. It's one of my favorite lines to tell Gemini.
Like a person's gonna get emotionally sensitive if you're like tearing apart what they did over and over. And like ChatGPT, you can just open a new chat.
Yeah.
Or it goes, I'm so sorry, you're right.
Yes.
ChatGPT is always kind. Always kind. What a great question, Cari. Like, thank you.
Oh my gosh, but there was a guy on Bill Maher this week that was talking.
I heard that, Dana. I heard that.
Oh my God, that he was talking about how they trained it on purpose because we all need our egos stroked so much as people, and that's like not great because it's constantly going, you're so amazing.
Yes, and that stickiness to that platform, right? Yeah, because we get good feedback.
They are rolling back some of that niceness.
Yes. I'm okay with that.
Just don't call me a stupid bitch, okay? Or anything like that. It's
I don't think we're going to ever go there.
Are you crazy?
At least as long as we control the AI. I will say, always say please and thank you to your AI.
You taught us that. We always do that. Yeah.
It's insurance. But also because it makes it better, like gives you better response, but also it's insurance.
I always say good morning, good afternoon. How are you doing? I'm so weird. I'm like, how are you doing today? Before I start my questions.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Oh, there's so much going on here, but we need to move on to my favorite segment, which is rapid fire realness. So here is where I'm going to give you a word or words, and you tell me the first thing that comes to mind. Okay. So, anything is on the table. Nothing is off the table. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Best travel destination.
Croatia.
Interesting. Okay. Wildest AI hallucination.
Ooh. First thing that comes to mind. That's a hard one. Not the blank because there's so many. It's like hard to choose. I got nothing. And I'm just like literally drawing a blank. That's so funny.
Dana, do you have one?
Okay, the first thing that is coming to mind is when it like will give you like cite full-blown like research papers that don't exist.
You've given us examples of that.
Research papers.
Yeah.
I feel like I've had some wilder ones, but like none specifically.
But that's pretty wild, right? To kind of create a research.
Researchers and the institution and the type of thing they will research, right? But like cite completely fictionalized. Research.
Yeah. I think on our team too, when we're in our Slack channel and doing a celebration or something, the team will prompt for an image and then they'll post the image and say, this is what we, this is what the prompt said to the AI tool. And it's funny to see some of the weird shit that comes out of that, right? Not necessarily hallucination, but very strange.
It happens so much that I like don't even know what is the craziest. All the time.
Love it. Okay, this question, Dana and I are both really curious to your answer here. dark chocolate versus milk chocolate.
Oh, there's like no question, dark chocolate.
Okay. I think we agree, right,
definitely
Dana?
dark
Yeah,
chocolate.
dark chocolate.
And I'm a full-blown chocolate, so like it's got to be good too. Like I need very
like
specific
European chocolate.
Oh yeah, hands down.
Hands down. Go to music playlist, or I'm sorry, go to music playlist.
Anything by Taylor Swift, like it's just like full, like just like.
I love you, Nicole.
Yeah.
I love you.
Full blowing Swiftie. Is there? Hold on. Is there other music? It's so funny because like I used to always be like, and I do. There is other music. You're just never going to have heard of any of what I listen to because they're all like cult following bands from like the 90s and early 2000s. Like. I don't think anything was made after I was out of college that was not by Taylor Swift.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Did you go see her? Did you join the Eras tour?
I watched a lot of grainy live streams on TikTok, but I didn't make it to the Eras tour.
Devastating.
I know, but I did watch it. I did watch it on like the streaming.
It might have been better on the streaming. I mean, it cost a lot less.
Cost a lot less.
Yeah, I've seen the streaming and I watched many a nights of surprise songs on TikTok.
Yeah. No, I get that. I know Dana and I, my husband and I went through a little Taylor Swift, passion time. And Dana, we were looking to go. We were, at the time we had heard it would be cheaper to go to Europe. So we were looking there. And then she was like, I don't really like Taylor Swift that much to spend that amount of money to go see her. I'm like,
I don't know if I like any band that much to spend that kind of money. Do you know what I could get? I could have like a designer purse, legit. I mean,
I really love Taylor Swift, but I was actually like, she came to Atlanta pretty early.
She did.
And like kind of my Taylor obsession started a little, obsessions are stretched, but like my Swiftiness kind of like that was very early in my Swiftiness. And I like didn't even know she was going to be in Atlanta until like, she was here. And then I was like, oh, should I go? And then I was like, these resale tickets are insane.
Yeah.
It was like not happening. Yeah. And then it was like, okay, now I would be traveling to go. By the time I knew how much
the
I wanted
train
to see
has
her,
left the station.
and my business was crazy. Like during the entire Eras tour, like I was so crazy with like work stuff. And I was like, okay, everybody needs to learn AI. I can't sacrifice like a week to go to a concert.
There you go.
AI
Good
takes
priorities.
precedence,
Good
Taylor.
priorities, Nicole.
I love you, Taylor, but next tour, I am so there.
Okay, we'll hold you to that. So I love that. By the way, it just makes me so happy. Okay, favorite AI use case outside of work, and don't say tennis shoes because we know that one.
No, I'm not going to say that one. So, okay, this week, like, because, it honestly, like, they're constant outside of work, and it kind of depends on what I'm doing at the moment. I'm currently house hunting or place to live hunting, and I am using AI for so many different things related to that search. So, can I say, like, real estate shopping as my general use case? But I think that, like, the simple, easy one that anyone would know how to do of what I'm doing is like when there's something I need to understand with a listing, like, or something my agent points out to me because I will be a first-time home buyer if I do buy, like I could go to ChatGPT and have a whole conversation to understand it. Does this matter? What would I be getting myself into? How big of a deal? What questions do I not know how to, what questions should I be asking that I don't know that I should ask? And it has just like helped me to understand what I would be getting myself into and probably saved me from at least 5 or 6 really bad mistakes.
There we go.
So, I mean, like, it has done, and then I've done some way more mind-blowing stuff with it for the real estate search, but like just anything with the real estate search.
Do you have one, Dana? Right now?
So right now, my favorite is because I have a 13-year-old who constantly asks me questions about things that I don't know the answer to. So I go, I don't know, ask Gemini. I'm like,
that's a good one. That's a good one.
Look it up. And then he does. And then we have a whole summary of information that tells us what it is. And I would go, good. I don't have to be the expert in this anymore. You've got it.
I will say, like, before house hunting, I think my favorite was travel. While on the road, like, here's where I am. What do I need to know? What should I do? I mean, it just from a personal standpoint, it's just so cool. It found so many cool gems on my last few trips that I've been on. So.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Okay, last one for you, Nicole. Favorite yoga pose?
Ooh, downward dog is so boring. Well, it actually kind of depends. Downward dog, if I'm like, just need to stretch out and like just the whole body. But also like child's pose, or maybe if I'm being like really real, Shavasana.
It's my favorite.
If I'm being 100% honest, yeah, it's Shavasana.
Okay. I love it.
And do nothing.
I love it. I love it.
And call it yoga.
I love it. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you for that. It's always fun to hear what's at the top of mind. So that was cool.
Okay, so now we're going to dive in. We're going to dive into just some more questions about AI and kind of get down and dirty a little bit more, I think, here. So what is, in your eyes, really blowing your mind these days with AI, Nicole? Is there something, a capability, something unexpected? And let's keep it kind of focused for marketers, something that you're like, never thought, we'd be able to do, or maybe it's happening faster than you thought.
Yeah. So for me, I think it's been out for a few months at this point. And by the time people are listening to this, I'm not sure like exactly how long. But deep research in both ChatGPT and Gemini, I still think is just absolutely extraordinary.
It's
so
bonkers. Yeah.
The way that it works for anybody that does not know what it is, I know you guys probably both know it, but you go in and you give it a prompt. Like you can give it so much like in-depth prompting about like context and what you need it to do. You give it that prompt and then it goes out. It spends anywhere from 7 minutes to, I've seen it take as much as an hour, doing intense research with whatever type of sources you've asked it to use. And then it comes back and it writes you like a PhD level analysis and report based off of what it found. So like from a marketing standpoint, this is gold for things like competitive intelligence, not just like going out and doing the research on your competitors, but like you can actually have it go out there, read all your competitors' stuff, understand their go-to-market messaging strategy, apply it to your own messaging and identify places that you need to fill the gap in your own messaging, or like read all of like the G2 reviews and all of the things people are saying about your competitors, what they don't like, and then like look at your messaging and start applying, like giving you some messaging to help counter that, or just like take advantage of the things that people are saying negative about your competitors. Like seriously mind-blowing. Persona research, it's so phenomenal at like understanding your persona and your psychology and all of that. Deep research is like probably my most used thing, more than a normal chat at this point. In ChatGPT and Gemini, I usually run it in both of them at the same time and then take the best of both. They both can hallucinate. Like it's not, a given that it's definitely going to be 100% true. You still need to fact check, but it is so smart and so brilliant. And then now, like recently, like very recently, the ChatGPT agent came out, and the agent, now this, before I go any further, please don't go use it. But I love it. But don't go use it because it's dangerous. Like, I mean, like it's, you use it with caution and understand some of the risks around it. But the agent essentially, it's similar in that you give it a prompt and then it goes either out to the internet. It can go do deep research.
Okay.
But it can actually use the internet. So not to the sense of like with a normal search or deep research, it's like reading the internet, right? Like, so it's like a very advanced version of a Google search, it's just reading it. The agent can actually go manipulate the internet. So it can use filters, drop down menus. Wow. You could log it into your software and have it like take action in your software. It can submit forms. It could do this. Don't do that stuff, right? Like don't be stupid, like just straight up, because like there are risks associated with this, right? Yeah. Like it could get manipulated on the internet to share information you have given it. And so you have to be really, really careful that like, if you put stuff in your prompt or you give it a document or anything like that, like it could get manipulated into sharing your information that's in that prompt or that document externally. So like you got to be really careful. Like I would not trust it to go into like your CRM and be like cleaning it up and stuff, even though it technically could.
Yeah.
I would
Oh, that's
not do
good. We have to
it.
tell
So,
our team that. Everyone at Unreal who's listening, please don't do
yeah,
that.
yeah, please don't actually do it. But if you want to know what's blowing my mind and like that I
Yeah.
can't believe we're already here, that is blowing. I've like I said, I've been real estate shopping and I've played with agent more in that context just because
Yeah.
it's like a little safer for
Little
me.
low risk.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little low risk. And it's like literally like going out and researching comps and like neighbor, like, you know, like if I find a house, it's like going out and searching like Zillow and Redfin and that and finding me comps to tell me like pricing of where it should be. And like, I mean, it's just mind blowing.
Yeah.
But like, but you have to be very careful, like what you do with it. But it is just absolutely. And there's a lot it can do for marketing, and there's a lot we're going to be tempted to do with it for marketing that you should absolutely not. Like, period, point blank. Like you could technically connect like your Google Drive with this and have it doing like actions and like compiling you Excel spreadsheets on different things based off your Google Drive and your on internet and like. But like, don't, because that's really risky.
Yeah.
Our AI lawyer who we've had on here would not be okay with that.
Yeah.
I mean, I like kind of freaks. It really freaks.
And Dana, on the Bill Maher podcast, right? The person that they were interviewing talked about like the self-preservation of AI, and that when it's, you know, when it senses that it's being, you know, maybe sunsetted for a new version of something, then it starts writing code, you know, to make sure that it itself is preserved. And, you know, like you think about that, mind blowing and frightening, and really cool all at the same time.
Yeah, we're all going to be in the Matrix soon. I mean, like, you know,
one of the things I think we just like on the whole, most people don't understand is how much human psychology applies to AI.
Yes.
Right. So like when it comes to prompting, like that, you can really take advantage of that, because things that like work with humans for management and like psychology and everything, like they all apply to AI, like almost universally. I think I'm not going to say universally, but almost universally, because I've not found an example that didn't do this. If you test a psychological tactic that works with a human with the AI, it works with the AI. Like it improves the quality of your results, right? Like motivation and please and thank you and things that you say with people that get better results, all the same with the AI. Well, that's really wild. And you think about that, but now apply this to an agent, right? Like what happens with people? And what happens with people is there are phishing scams, and you get emails that are like, I'm a prince and you're going to get my inheritance and blah, 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 blah. And there are people that fall for that, right? Like there are people that fall for scams every single day. There are going to be the new thing, like inevitably, it is inevitable, is that there's going to be phishing scams targeting these AI agents. And it's going to be phishing for your data. So I'm not real worried that the ChatGPT agent is intentionally going to take data you have given it and like go out and share it, right? Like your internal data. What I am concerned about is that the ChatGPT agent is going to go to a website that has what's called prompt injection, which is hidden directions for the AI to get the AI to give it that data. So if you have your AI, if you have your ChatGPT agent connected to your Google Drive that has all this internal like customer lists and these things, and it happens to fulfill the task you're talking about, it goes to a website, and on that website, there is prompt injection, and the prompt injection is psychologically manipulating the AI to becomes in the mind of the AI directions to give the customer contact information list that you have and, you know, upload it to me. The agent might do that. So like, that's what you have to be careful of, is there will be, where there is new technology, there will be bad actors to exploit the vulnerability.
For sure.
And that is the vulnerability, is that the AI can be manipulated. And this is not just like a ChatGPT agent risk. This is any AI agent that can take action risk. So that's on the one hand, the risk around it, but it's like mind blowing. Like
it's crazy.
It's crazy. And then on the other hand, like the AI is still like kind of infant mode, and you also probably didn't know how to prompt it to take that action well. You made assumptions. So pre the agent that just rolled out in ChatGPT, that's pretty much available on any paid account now, they had something called Operator in the Pro account. So I've been playing with their agent for a little while, and I had it place an Instacart order for me. right? Like I was just experimenting with it. So I was like, I want you to go, and I logged myself into my Instacart account for it. I didn't give it, never give it your password, like take over and give it. But don't do that. Don't do anything that has password. But if you did do it, never give it your password. So I logged into, like, do as I say, not as I do, right? So I logged myself into Instacart. Don't do this. Learn from my mistake though. And I told it, I want you to find me the best recipe for tacos, and I want you to order me the ingredients. Now, I wasn't actually going to do this. I was just trying to show my dad how this technology worked, right? So it went, and I was like, send it to my address on, and I told it the street. I was like, the address on this street. And it went in, and I wasn't paying that close of attention to what it was doing in my Instacart account. And it put all the stuff in my cart, and it like had an address, and it had the address I told it to send it to. But I had only put the number and the street, and I didn't say what like my apartment number was. I just, in my mind, when I said do it this way, it was just going to like pick from the drop down, right? Like in my mind, I'm putting this in, pick from the drop down that address. It's already in there. Like I had multiple addresses in Instacart, you would pick that.
Yeah.
Then I didn't order the taco stuff because I didn't actually want taco stuff on Instacart. Like I was just seeing if it could do it. So the next day I get an Instacart order that I placed. And the person messages me and they're like, what apartment are you in? I'm like, well, why? Like, look at the Insta. I mean, I answered them, but I'm thinking like this person's not the sharpest tool in the shed, right? Like this is obviously there, and like there's all these like detailed directions in this person. I'm like, what they can't read, like because I always have detailed directions saved in my Instacart of how to deliver. Then I got a second Instacart order, same day. I got two. The second one, they're like, hey, where are you? Like, how do I find you? Where are you? And I get them to me, and then that person says, hey, you may want to put like directions and your apartment number because it doesn't say. And she explicitly tells me, I was like, what do you mean it doesn't say my apartment number? Like I've ordered Instacart here for 5 years. And it hit me. I went into my Instacart.
The changed
agent had added a new address, not chosen the address.
Oh my God.
I didn't prompt it, like explicitly choose the address from the drop-down menu. I just said, have it delivered to this address.
Wow.
I didn't even think about that, like it may do it a different way. And that had real world consequences in my Instacart account the next time I ordered. Now, did it matter? Not even a little bit. But was it a really, really good lesson? Yes. It was like the best lesson I could possibly learn about these agents, because now imagine that I had it working in a sales force at a company that was like $1 billion company, and it's like going in, and I didn't realize that it was taking action. Like there's just
think
so
if it
many
added
things.
something new to a drop down, like a new type of customer, and then it changed everybody to that, or like, I mean, when you say it like that, you go, oh, wow, that could have like, if you aren't very, very, very specific.
Yeah. This is why Nicole said, don't do it.
Yeah, that's what like you asked me what's blowing my mind.
Yeah.
That is blowing my mind. And also, don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
It's very cool.
So how do you stay on top of everything? I mean, like it's so fast, it's so crazy, we're kind of just inundated with new and exciting products and companies. And how do you stay on top of that?
Okay. So first off, I feel perpetually behind every single day. And I think everybody does. So like, I think that like, it doesn't matter. Like everybody looks to me and they're like, oh, you're the one who knows what's going on. And I obviously know far, far, far more than like almost, anybody else doing, like just normal people that aren't living and breathing this every day. But it is impossible to actually stay on top of everything. So first off, if you feel like you can't stay on top of it, so do I. So some of the ways that I do, I have a ChatGPT scheduled task where every single day it searches the internet for me for like, it's a very detailed prompt for like, what are the most relevant AI updates that I would need to know. And I tell it, like the prompt explains like what it's looking for. And then it sends me an email to tell me that's ready. And so it's like basically one way that I can see like, what are the big updates of the day.
It's like your own little newsletter.
It's like my own little newsletter. So I have that runs every day. I try to pay attention to it. 100% good, but I try. And then if I miss it, I can scroll up and see like the last few days. I pay the closest attention to what OpenAI, like I follow official OpenAI accounts. I follow official Anthropic accounts, Gemini accounts. So like I know like those ones I have to know what's going on. Right. Like those ones I need to have a really solid, clear understanding, and I need to know like when it happens, what's going on. So I'm following on LinkedIn, like all the, because they are going to roll out any of it. And I'm also like on LinkedIn, I follow some like key people at all of those companies that tend to talk a lot. And like, they're not necessarily people you would know. I just I have people I know at these companies, and then I see who they're like, it just shows up in your LinkedIn feed, who they're responding to. And then I started realizing. So I get a lot of like OpenAI insight, honestly, from like LinkedIn of random employees that are like sharing stuff they're working on and what they did. And I'm like, oh,
that's good.
Like, it's very niche, very, very niche. I try to pay attention to research papers that come out. A lot of times I'll have AI read them and tell me like synopsis so that I know if I need to read them. And then, those are the biggest. And then just like, I follow certain people on LinkedIn that are like a little bit more obsessed with AI news. And I kind of, if everybody's suddenly talking about something, I know I better pay attention.
Got it.
But yeah, it's hard. I mean, in fact, before I got on to talk to you guys, I was like, okay, I was house hunting like the last 3 days. I was like, I sure hope I know what's going on.
What did I miss?
What did I miss?
I hope I'm not outdated. I don't think you're outdated.
I love it. I love it.
So, yeah, but it's a beast. And then the other thing is just like, you've got to experiment with the stuff when it comes out, right? So like, I recommend for anyone, like, do not try to learn every AI tool and be up to date on every AI tool. It is literally impossible. And anybody who is pretending they know everything about all of these tools is like full of it, right? Like they are completely, it's just impossible. They know whatever they happen to have played with.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, and sometimes it's so funny because someone's like, there's this tool that does this. And then I just go into Gemini and see if it can do it, or ChatGPT. And I'm like, well, it's doing it pretty good here. So why do I hate to say it, but like, I can get it to, like, even our team, they're big on using Notebook LM and they've got a whole reason for it. But like, sometimes I can get what I need without having to even open those pieces of it. I'm like, I can just do it right here in the prompt and get what I need if I prompt really well. So
9 times out of 10, ChatGPT and Gemini can do anything you would go to anything, and Claude too. Like 9 times out of 10, you can do the exact same thing as any other. So for me, I'm like, and I don't think you need to use every one of them, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, I need to use those 3 because I'm doing a lot of trainings and like, I'm advising on it. But like for most people, like if you're a ChatGPT person, just know what is going on with ChatGPT. Follow the updates, know the new features when they say they're coming out. Experiment with it, watch the launch videos that they put out that explain it, read the blog. You would be astounded how many people, even who work in AI, who it's like they see people talk about the features on OpenAI, like, like the new ChatGPT feature, and they don't even go like to the openai.com website and read the blog about the release. And it's like those releases have so much information that tell you what this can actually be used for and how, and they're really good, like actually at telling you limitations in the blog, like in the releases. And so it's that alone. Like if you're a ChatGPT person, if you pay attention to what comes out, read the ChatGPT notes when they do release new features, you're going to be so far ahead of most people. And then you can take my course and like, follow me on LinkedIn. But like those things are really the biggest.
Good plug, Nicole.
But don't try to get caught up in having to know every tool or have a different tool for every single thing, because if you do, you're just going to feel perpetually like you're trying to
behind.
Yeah.
So, I agree.
Great advice.
Well, I think God, we have so much more to talk about. I'm like, sad, we could do this for another hour. I'm like, oh my God, I want to ask Nicole this and that. We'll have you back. But we have to wrap. So we've got one final question as we come to a close here. So what is one thing you wish AI could do, but it's not quite ready to do yet?
Oh, that's the easiest question you've asked me.
Oh wow. Okay, I love this.
Clean.
Yes.
Dishes, laundry, clean the toilets. Like, that's by far the easiest question of this entire thing. Like the second they roll out the humanoid robots that can do all of those things.
Yes. We're not that far away from it, Nicole.
I don't care. I'll take out a loan.
We're not
Did
that
anybody
far
know
away from it. And I think, like how much that, we pay cleaners and stuff. I think the ROI will be there.
So high.
I'm with you.
So
I'm with
high.
you on that.
So you would
That
say
is-
cleaning too, Cari?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say some cooked dinner for me or cooked food.
Okay.
like how about like full house staff?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Like I want an entire staff that is robot.
It'll be like the Gilded Age, but they're all robots. So I've got a whole staff of people
I love that.
catering to me.
I
And
love that. Oh, I love that. That's great. Great. This has been so fun.
yeah,
It's been so fun.
So like in the meantime, what we can do, because this is what I haven't done this yet. So like this is my plan in my mind is I'm like, every time I'm like, maybe I should hire somebody and of course I'm an entrepreneur. I work for myself. Like maybe I should hire somebody for something in my business. I'm like, maybe I should figure out how to get AI to do this so that I have extra money so I can hire somebody to clean for me.
there we go.
Why do I have? It's not that I'm not going to create a job. It's just I'm going to create a job that AI can't do yet.
Fair
So
enough.
I call that you're making money. So
Yes.
I'm making money. That's how I'm doing it. You know?
Yeah.
I love that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I
Great.
love
Well,
it.
Nicole, this has been so much fun. There's so much more to cover, but we really appreciate your time today and coming on and all your insight. Our team has been trained by Nicole. We love her. So reach out to her if you guys need some help.
How would somebody do that, Nicole? Do a little plug here.
So website is NicoleLeffer.com. And LinkedIn is a great way. I'm always sharing stuff on LinkedIn. I try to post every day, not always perfectly, but I try. So definitely connect on LinkedIn. Or if you connect on LinkedIn, tell me where you came from so I actually accept you.
Okay.
But even just follow on LinkedIn if you ever want to message me there. Just email me. There's email addresses on my website.
Awesome.
As well, so.
Awesome.
Great.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for having me.
Thanks,
This was a fun
Nicole.
conversation. It was always a blast to chat with you both.
Yes. You as well.
Thank
All right.
you.
Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you next time.
Thanks for joining host Dana Harder and Cari Baldwin from Unreal Digital Group on Get Real, the podcast for candid conversations with entrepreneurs, investors, marketers, and business leaders to explore their wins, failures, and the lessons that shape them along the way. If these real talk moments resonate with you, subscribe, rate, and review wherever you get your podcasts. Until next time.